This exhibit is called Art in the Garden, and it's featuring my ladies of the garden, which are two-piece enamel pieces, sort of the dress and the head on top, and they're all with Vintage Life magazine, female images, strong images, and just beautiful, glamorous images. And those make up the dresses. So the process of creating the dresses, I flip through all my Life magazines, tons and tons, and find the few images that I like. And then I tear them into sheets. I like to have a natural border. I don't like to use scissors. And I like some of them to have a rough edge. Just to me, it just seems more whimsical or natural. And then I lay it down and sort of piece together the dress. And then the faces of the women, one has feathers in her hair, one has, some netting, some imprint of fabric. So they all sort of go together, and I feel like they sort of tell their story. I also have other canvas and plexiglass pieces with the Vintage Life magazine as sort of the inspiration, and then the paint sort of follows the story of what that image means to me. I was born in Hong Kong, but only lived there for a short time, but I've been back. I love Indonesia, Asia, that part of the world. I grew up in Miami. I love nature. I had a landscaping business at one point. I worked for the Division of Forestry as an urban forester for one point. I've always been somewhat of a searcher, and I feel like now really at this point in my life, like finding my family and all of that has really given me the confidence to do what I'm doing now. I would describe my art abstract, maybe a little popish. I paint on a lot of different surfaces, the stainless, canvas, acrylic. I love color. I love the blending of color. Finding all of this inspiration and interesting content, and then try to bring that to life with the paint. And it's just kind of always evolving. The piece Malibu is inspired by an enamel charm that I found through a friend. And I had spent the summer in Malibu last year and loved California and loved the culture and everything that it was about. So this little pendant reminded me of that, and so I sort of tried to mimic it in the Malibu piece. The painting Liv started out with me formulating her eye, and then her face and hair and body and dress sort of followed. She's sort of peeking out from her hair, but she's also encompassed in a floral piece within that sort of covers her mouth and her eye and her nose and the rest of her face. I just love how she evolved. She took on a life of her own. So people coming to the show and looking at my artwork, I hope that they become inspired themselves, and I hope that they find pleasure and that they find, like the word pieces that are valuable to me, I hope that they find the same value and inspiration that I find. But I feel like for me, the more I create and the more I sell and the more positive reinforcement I get, the more I want to go bigger and brighter and evolve.